Hi guys, it's Synolve. How are you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. Well, today what we're going to talk about is manifesting your SP, your special person. And we're going to talk about manifesting your SP out of thin air, because that's what I did. Look at our tree. Remember, you are one with the universe. You are one with the Father. You and the Father are one. As long as you are one within your spirit, within your heart and your mind, you're one with what it is that you want to do. You're not conflicted. You're not wondering and worrying about it. You are focused in your mental mind, in your imagination. You're focused on manifesting your special person, manifesting your specific person that's right for you, your significant other. And so one of the things, the tips, let me bring y'all down just a little bit. There you go. One of the tips for manifesting your specific person is to know in your heart. You got to know, you got to enter the knowing state, right? You got to enter the state where you know without a shadow of a doubt that your SP is out there for you. Now, what I have experienced with and what I've experienced in my own life is manifesting your SP out of thin air. Manifesting your SP out like you hadn't met them before, you don't know them. You're manifesting this person out of thin air. You are asking the universe, genie, to bring this person to you. I mean, that's exciting to me. Like, that is so exciting to me, to manifest out of thin, poof, right? The magic dragon, to manifest out of thin air. Like, this is the magician in the hat trick. This is real, right? Your imagination is real. And so what I did, I give you a little story time. What I did, and I've told this story before in other videos, but what I did to manifest my SP, my husband, and I'm gonna add some things. Okay, so you'll hear. I'm gonna add some things, and I was thinking about this yesterday, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I forgot that I did that. Here you go. So I was in Mississippi. All right, we got interrupted phone call. So I was in Mississippi. I was in a small town in Mississippi, and my grandmother had always taught me before she passed away that you want to find your SP, your special person, when you're in college. You want to find that person when you're in college. Okay, so this is going to be able to work with you wherever you are, whatever stage in life you are. Okay, so this was just her theory, and so I was like, okay. So I knew college age, I wanted to manifest, find my college sweetheart who would eventually become my husband. Well, I went to a 2-year college and searched all over. I ain't find nobody. I ain't find nobody. So I did date someone, but it just kind of fizzled out on its own over time. They cheated, okay? So I was like, well, he ain't the one, okay? And he was very religious, all the things, but and so whatever. Here comes the red bird, y'all. Hey, hey. Okay, now no, he's still there. Okay, so anyway, back. So back and forth. So so that didn't work out. So then I was like, okay, well, no pain, no gain, no win, no loss, win, lose, draw, I'm good. But I was a bit devastated. So I then in the summers I would go to Ole Miss, because I was at Northwest University. I was at Northwest Mississippi Community College in Senatobia, Mississippi. Okay, if y'all in the Mid-South area, shout out. Okay, let me know. So, or if you got family from Mississippi or the West Mid-South area, West Tennessee area, let me know. But regardless, okay, this works for you anywhere. Okay, anywhere in the world. So I would go in the summers to the University of Memphis, and I would go to summer school because my family really wanted me to go to school in the Mid-South. Okay, so, or go to school in Mississippi, they wanted me to go to school in Mississippi, but I don't know, I had this thing, I just couldn't shake it, that I wanted to go to Memphis to go to school. I wanted to go to University of Memphis. At that time, it's called Memphis State. So I wanted to go to Memphis State. I love the basketball team. I can't even play basketball. I don't know. I love the energy. I love the energy. So I was like, I want to go. That's where I want to go. And even though I'm wearing Mississippi State hat today, okay? So that's where I wanted to go, and nobody could deter me. So the whole thing about, oh no, there's something on me. But anyway, the whole thing about, oh well, I would have to pay out of state fees, all of that. Regardless, I still wanted to go. It just didn't matter. I still wanted to go. So I applied. I came stay with my aunt, all of that. Now, in the meantime, it's funny, it's interesting. My husband actually, scouts were looking at him, trying to recruit him to come to Ole Miss, to come to the University of Mississippi. So he came to a couple of football games, and he was like, I don't know if that's for me. I'm going to just go to the University of Memphis. Okay. So now, I later on remembered, hang on just a minute. All right, so later on I remembered after we met that I had actually seen him a couple of times from afar though, way like across. I was at one college, the College of the Arts. Like I was at communications. I was in one building, and he was over at the music building. So sometimes I'd see him running from that parking lot, or running, or not running, but well, yeah, running, but walking into the music building, right? And I just kind of wonder, oh, you know, I saw him walk a couple of times, but I never got close. Like I was like from here a long way away, right? Like far. So I never got close to him. We never passed, never nothing, until I went to Wendy's, and I didn't even want to go. I'm saying you can manifest someone out of the clean blue sky. Like you're just following your intuition. One, I wanted to go to the University of Memphis. Two, he even came to Ole Miss, right, to a football game, even though I wasn't there because I only went in the summers, but that's where my family wanted me to go. And then it's like this strong connection that's drawing us together. And I did something though. I started working on me. I don't know if you remember, if you're my age, you may remember, Oprah had this series that she did years ago where she was talking about loving yourself. She went in hard, she went in deep on this subject. She had multiple series on it. And she was talking about loving yourself, and the way to find true love, true happiness, was to first love yourself first. Like she had this interview, I don't even know, she had this interview, she was just talking and basically just saying, if you don't love yourself first, then you can't attract the person that you're looking for. If you don't love yourself, then you can't draw in, you can't bring in this person, your SP, your specific person, your special person, your significant other, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is that you lover that you are looking for, because you gotta first love yourself. You gotta first, and that magnet of self-love, I have a whole video on self-love, right? This whole thing on self-love is so important to manifesting anything, including your SP. Loving yourself first, having a great, amazing self-concept of yourself, right? We called it back then, talked about self-esteem. Having self-esteem, having self-confidence, right? Like when you walk out the door, you know you look good. All right, okay, I got this hat on, but honey, baby, she fine. Okay, she looks good. You hear what I'm saying? So you have this self-confidence, right? That you love yourself. That you love yourself. You love yourself. You love yourself. That you can attract. You have the ability to attract the perfect person for you, the perfect person that loves you, that's right for you, that's perfect for you, is there. He, she exists. They exist, and they are just waiting for you. They're just waiting for you, right? They can't wait to be with you. They're looking for you just like you're looking for them, right? They want you. They want you in your life. You're beautiful. You're amazing. I am beautiful, okay? I am amazing. These are some of the things that I would say. I'm beautiful. I am amazing. I am loved, right? I am worthy. of attracting this amazing mate, this amazing person. Now, and I will say I want, I'm looking for a real man. So I had this bear, y'all. I had this bear, and a lot of my stuff is packed up, but I don't still have the bear anymore. But I had this bear, and I sat it on top of my dirty clothes hamper. I had the nicest dirty clothes hamper. Okay, in college, I had this nice dirty clothes hamper. It was wicker. I got it from Kirkland's. I think I got it from Kirkland's at the time. It was pretty tall, it was wicker, and it had a lid on it. Okay. Oh, I love this clothes hamper, and I would put my dirty clothes in there. Y'all, I hated to wash, but that's a whole nother thing. I love washing clothes now, but at the time I like hated dragging all my stuff down to the laundry room. And so I would, the wind is coming. I feel like, and the red bird is over there, the wind is blowing. I feel like the wind is saying amen. So chilly, but it feels good. So I because I was tired of little boys. I was tired of children, okay? I was tired of mama sending their little boys up to college, and all the things that go on in college, right? All the, if you went to college, or you were you were 20, 21, 18, 17, 20, 18, 19, 20, 21, you 23 in college, you know what that whole life is about, right? You know what that can be like. It can be amazing and wonderful. It's all your self-concept and what you believe. And so I realized that I had a poor self-concept when it came to men, for a lot of different reasons. My parents were never married. My stepdad and mom were divorced. My grandmother had been married multiple times. So I hadn't seen this pattern in my own life modeled of people having this. My grandmother looked for love. She was looking for the right person, looking for love, and just never really found it in the way that she thought was right for her and best for her. And so I didn't have that modeled in front of me within my family. Now, I saw it modeled through my immediate family. I saw it modeled through other people at church and throughout my community, other places. And so I had to reach for models, and then just ask for Spirit to give me a picture. Like, give me a picture of what this looks like. And so I would just go into my imagination, and I would just imagine. But before we get there, the bear. That's what I was talking about. Let me talk about the bear, and then we're going to get to the imagination, because that's very important. But so I had this bear, and I sat it on top of my dirty clothes hamper. This beautiful wicker dirty clothes hamper. And I put the bear on top, and it was decorated right on top. It was really nice. I actually lived in an apartment then, which was walking distance from campus. And I put on the bear this sign that said, "I want a real man." I did. I sure did. Because I was sick and tired of dealing with mama's little boys, because little boys coming up to college, they weren't ready because I was grown. Okay, I was already very mature for my age. Okay, or so I thought. But I was really mature for my age, and I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted. I put a list of what I wanted: loving, kind, stable, mature, loving, kind, funny, great sense of humor, good family, stable, mature, all those things. And so I made that list, and I did a list of the pros and the cons of whenever I meet someone, and see if they kind of fit into that without being restrictive. And I'd pray about them if I met someone, to see, does this feel right? Is this what? And the answer would always come back no, because I would, I had my list. I had what I wanted. I knew what I was worth. I knew my worth, and I wanted someone who knew my worth, and knew that I was worthy of love, of the princess treatment, of the queen treatment, who wanted to pamper me and spoil me, but wanted to love me and support me. And so I really just kept going. I just kept going. And so I wrote that, like I said, and I had my list. So I had those two things. I had my list, and I had my of what I wanted, and I had the bear with the sign, I want a real man, right? Or I need a real man. Well, it was one of those things. And I just didn't settle for anything get less. Whenever somebody would approach me, I would be like, no, baby, no. No. Let's no need to be, no. We're not even entertaining foolishness today. No, ma'am. No, sir. I'm unable. Okay? Because you got to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, how can the universe serve it to you? If you go to a restaurant and you want to order something, because this is really an order, what you're doing is putting in your order, right? If you don't put in the order for what you want, then how will the universe know what to serve you? If you go to a restaurant, how are they gonna know what to serve you if the waitress comes and you don't even know what you want? You gotta know. You gotta know what you want. Now, I wasn't being restrictive, and it doesn't have to be restrictive, but you do need to have some guidelines. You don't want, I knew I didn't want to be mistreated. I didn't want to be abused. None of that. Okay, so none of that. And I wasn't entertaining that. So guys that came that way it just helped me to put some criteria in place to also keep myself safe, because I was living, I had a roommate. She was from Malaysia. And so, but basically I was on my own. My grandmother had passed away by then. I didn't really have that kind of family. So I knew that I had to protect myself, and I had to look out for me. And I knew that if I was going to date somebody, they had to be willing to be all the things, right? A boyfriend, a lover, a protector, all the things. Like you got to be Prince Charming here. You're going to have to be all the things, right? And I really wanted a husband. That's really what I had. This person has to be husband material. So, all that in mind, I went to Wendy's that day, not intentional because I didn't want to go. I was actually going to meet a friend from my hometown. This is where we pick up. I shared this part of the story before. And it was like the car was driving itself. Like I'm trying to go straight, and the car just is turning on its own. And I'm like, didn't I try? Okay, because I passed by the first entrance to Wendy's, and I was like, I ain't going. Then the second one, and I could feel the car just turn on in there. Okay. I mean, out of thin air, because I didn't know this guy. We hadn't met before. Nothing. Like I'm in Batesville, Mississippi, so I'm in Mississippi. He's raised in Tennessee, a little town in Tennessee outside of Memphis. Like, what? I don't know that he didn't graduate from my high school. He graduated from Tennessee high schools, not even Memphis high school. Okay, just out and in a rural area. And I graduated at the time. It was rural. It's very suburban now, but at the time I graduated from a rural country little town. Okay, so how would we meet? Poof, the magic dragon. How is this gonna happen unless spirit is in control? I gave it to the universe. I basically gave this thing of manifesting my SP to the universe, and I left it alone. Once I wrote it on the bear, I wrote my stuff down. When I would look at it again, it would be just in passing. I want a real man. Okay, this is my criteria. I'm judging by, I'm praying about, that's my prayer. I'm believing this is going to happen. I'm visualizing us being together, right? I'm visualizing us being my husband and I get married. I'm visualizing us being together, going out to dinner together, walking in the park, listening to music, dancing together. Like I'm envisioning all the things. I'm visualizing all of the things that we are together. We are in love. This person loves me. This person buys me chocolates. Okay. This person loves me. My husband buys me chocolates. Yes, he does. Especially Reese's peanut butter cups. He knows that I love them when they're in the shapes, like the special holiday shapes, like the Christmas tree. Now they have out the hearts. This is the end of January going to February, so they have out the ones in the hearts now. I love the ones in the tree. The ones in the tree were really good. And then the Easter, they have the eggs. So I'm wondering what they're gonna do. They're gonna do a St. Patrick's Day. I hope they keep this Reese's. I hope they keep this thing going all year round. In July, they have some firecrackers shapes, something, some star shapes, something, okay, to keep this all year round, okay. Flags, I don't know, something, because they are good. These okay, then I digress. So, but my husband knows me. He loves me, right? He absolutely loves me. So we met. He was like, I walk into the store, into Wendy's, pick back up there, walk into Wendy's, and he's like, is it your turn to buy or mine? I'm like, it's definitely your turn because I bought last time. Okay. So, and then, yeah, I go sit down, eat the food because I wasn't even hungry. Like, I ate the food like I was starving. Okay. I got like a chicken nugget and french fries. Okay. Which was my normal, and a drink. Or I sometimes would switch and get a salad, or sometimes and chop it up in there, or chop the chicken nuggets up in there. Girl, you're a college student. You better learn. You better ask somebody 99 cents to go a long way, because it had a little 99 cent or $1.29 salad, something like that. And then, or I get a baked potato. So it just would depend. But I ate my food, and then I had to go throw my stuff away. I had to pass right by him. He asked me my name and my phone number. He's like, "What's your name?" And I'm like, dang it, I can't think of my fake name. Shaquan, I can't. Where's she at? So I told her my name, Synolve, which she thought was fake anyway, so it didn't matter. And then he asked me for my phone number. Now I'm thinking, I can't think of my fake phone number. 777-93-11. Okay. But I couldn't think of it, so I gave him my real number. It took that man 2 weeks to call me. Now, in other stories I've shared, when I walked in, I literally thought, ooh, excuse me. Oh, let me get some water. Storytelling, okay. I literally thought that he was older, like 24 or so, because the way he was dressed. Not that he looked older, but just the way he was dressed. He had on a sports jacket. It was blue, and a button-down shirt, nice, and khakis, okay, and nice shoes. So clean shoes, okay. The shoes were clean, okay. So so I'm like, okay, well, I'm thinking he got out of work and he was eating lunch with his friend, and they work together or something. So I'm like, oh gosh, this guy's older than me. This is a man. This is a real man. Okay. So that was, I kept saying, he is a real man. And he talked so nice and respectful and kind, all the things. So I'm like, ooh, I might be in trouble. So he didn't call for 2 weeks. It was October when we met. It was November when this man called me. And I was like, at that point, by that time, I was like, forget it. He ain't gonna call, whatever. Like, I ain't worried about it. He ain't gonna call. Okay. So he calls, and we went to dinner, and the rest is history. I had never really been on a real date. This is my first real date. I went on a real date to a real restaurant. He paid like the whole 9. And we've been together ever since. That was back in 1991. We got married in 94, had our first child in 96, our second child in 98, and 30 plus years later, we're still together, in love and happy. You can manifest your SP. You can manifest your SP. You can manifest your special person. And I, did all the steps. And I talked about this when I was younger. I would pray for my husband. I didn't know who that person was. I didn't necessarily think they were in my little city or town. Okay, and they don't have to be. I didn't necessarily think they were in my city or town, or I didn't know where they would be, right? I just knew that my SP was out there, my special person was out there. I had inklings when I was teaching Sunday school one time when I was 14 years old, and Spirit said, I'm going to give you an Ephraim and a Manasseh. And I'm like, wow, okay. I stopped teaching at 14. I just stopped in the middle while I was teaching the lesson, the Sunday school lesson, because I was trying to hear what Spirit was saying, and this audible voice was talking while I was teaching the lesson and I was talking, right? And so I had these inklings. I had these little inklings that something good was happening to me. And, you know, I followed my intuition. So following my intuition, going to the University of Memphis, praying for this person. I don't even know who he is or where he is. I just know he exists. So I believed. I knew. I had already entered. When my grandmother started talking to me about marriage and finding your special person, like, I had already entered the knowing state and believed that my special person existed. I already believed it. I already knew it. Okay? I already believed it. Already knew it. So I had already entered that field, that state. Now, there were times when I felt like, oh, this person's not going to show up. Especially, that's why I wrote the sign. I need a real man. Like, I need a real man. No more jokers. No more foolish people. No more silliness. Like, I need I can't. Now, when my husband showed up, I wasn't ready to get married. My husband was like already, he was ready to have the, all the things. And I was like, dang, in my mind, I didn't think that he would show up like that quick. I thought it would be a while, right? Now, we did take some time, of course, to get married. But what I meant was he had a mindset of knowing he wanted a wife, is what I mean. He knew he wanted a wife eventually, right? But he knew he wanted a wife. He knew his parents had been married, had a long marriage. And so he knew he wanted a wife. He knew what he wanted. And that the two of us coming together, knowing what we wanted, really did make a difference. It really did make a difference. So that is, so I did some visual things. I did some visualization. I sat down and made a list. All the things. It's like a motorcycle going by. So it's important, right, to take your manifestation seriously, and to take some necessary steps, believing and entering the knowing state, and not faltering, not wavering on that. Setting some criteria. What do you want? What kind of SP do you want? What do you want? Okay? What do you want? Now, I even went as far as to say I wanted an SP with the bald head, because I was fit and tall, dark, and handsome. Okay? Because I knew. I went into physical features, because and character and spiritual features, right? Believe in a higher power, higher source, kind, loving, nurturing, respectful, right? All those things. Great listener. So I went into, those things as well in my list and my criteria. And I asked, prayed about that, prayed over that. And I would go over pros and cons, right? Between different people that came through to see if they fit. They didn't, but my husband did. And so there are things, right? And then listening to your intuition and guidance. So you're into the state, you're in this knowing state. So knowing, right? Listening to spirit to guide you, and taking those nudges and those whispers when you're being told to go left or to go right, or to go here, to pull back, right? Pull away from that person. They're not safe, right? You listen to that, and spirit will lead you, right? Spirit will lead you right to where it is you need to be, right to the right place, right to the right person, right to your special person, your SP. Now, you can use this trick, these tips, to manifest, visualize going out with that person. You want to go a year later, right? Not just the beginning. You want to visualize out a year later 10 years later, 5 years later, 20 years later. I would visualize 30 years later, like we're together, we're happy, we're sitting on the porch. I would visualize like our retirement, we're retired together, we're happy, we're prosperous, we're loving, still loving to each other, have wonderful, beautiful children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, all the things. And so push your manifestation out. Don't just have it be the SP and then nothing else, like he appears or she appears and nothing else. You want to pull that manifestation out, and the visioning process out. You want to draw that scene out, draw that imagination out, that vision out, that scene, storyline out in your imagination, in your mind, as long as you can. And doing this before you go to sleep, doing this as a daydream. I love daydreaming. So doing this as a daydream is extremely powerful. Doing this before a nap or nap time, doing this as you drift off to sleep, doing this while you're washing your hands, after private time in the restroom, whether you're out or you're at home, doing this while you're washing dishes, doing this while you're in some type of mindless thing, folding clothes, doing laundry, in some type of mindless activity, also is really going to be helpful. All right, I do know that your SP is out there, that he or she exists and is perfect for you. All right, I know this. But the important thing is, the only way you're going to manifest it is if you know it too. You got to know it too. You have to know it too. And once you know it, you practice these steps, your SP is going to appear. And I want to hear all about it down in the comments below. All right? Okay. All right. I love you guys so much. This is Synolve signing off. And of course, as always, I love you. And I'm going to see you in another video real soon. Bye-bye, guys.